Good day everyone, welcome back to my channel, Soleil's Life. Let's begin by showing the pattern pieces that I will be working with. The first piece I'm going to show you is the back section. Here we have the back section with the liner attached, and we also have the neckline. Here is the back section, and this side would be the liner. I pinned it down so it would stay in place. And there's also a 1-inch fold that I made for the back opening. And the neckline is cut on a fold, 2 pieces, and it's gonna go on neckline both front and back. So this will be the back section of the top. Here we have the 2 back pieces. So what I did, I placed the liner on one side of the back piece. You're going to do the same exact thing to this side of the back piece. So I'm going to place the liner. I'm going to go ahead, and like I did to the front, I'm just going to go ahead, 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm going to pin it, and then I'm just going to go ahead and stitch it all the way up. I'm going to do the exact same thing, place the liner and 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm just going to go ahead and stitch all the way up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then you will be able to follow along as I go. And also I'm going to show you what the front and the back looks like after I've done stitching the sides to join them together. So here we have the front section of the top, both pieces cut in a fold, and the liner neckline. So the front section is both exact pieces, cut them in a fold. I just blend them together so they could stay in place. And we also have the neckline and the liner for the neckline, which is going to go the same way as in the neckline for the back. So this is the front section with the neckline. So here we have the 2 front pieces. What I did was I lined them up together. Also what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pin, seam allowance 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to go ahead and pin all the way around. I'm also going to do the same thing on this side, 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm just going to go ahead and pin all the way just like this side. I'm just going to pin it all the way down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stitch all the way down. I'm going to do the same exact thing on this side, stitch all the way down. Also I have them right side facing each other. So both the front pieces are faced right side facing each other. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now on both sides. So here we have the liner and the color for the front and back of the top. So what I did was I pinned both the liner and the outer liner and the front liner together. So I'm just going to go ahead and stitch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch around the top side from one end to the next, and the bottom I'm just going to measure the width of what the neckline is on the top front, and I'm going to mark it off. I'm just going to stitch until here and then stitch until here. I'm going to do the same thing to the front section. I'm going to go ahead and mark off where the front and the back of the blouse reach, which is the neckline. So I'm going to measure, if it's 4 inches to the front and 2 in the back, I'm just going to mark 4 inches, and I'm going to mark 2. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch the whole top, and I'm going to stitch where I didn't mark. So I'm going to leave out the measurements and just go on and stitch this side. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'll be back to show you what it looks like. After I've sewn the collar, after I've stitched it down and leave the space for the neckline, as you can see, I turn around and pinned it. So this would be the space, whatever your neckline space front and back is, you're going to leave a marking and you're going to stitch after that point. So I left a marking and I pinned both back pieces and the front piece onto the neckline. So this is what it will end up looking like. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and stitch down where the pins are. I'm just going to go ahead and flat stitch down, and that will attach the liner and the neckline to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And what I also did was I placed a 2-inch dart on both sides of the top, a little after the bust area, just so it lays really well when you have the top on, because there's going to be a space because of the bust. So I just placed a 2-inch in length and half-quarter inch in width dart. You don't have to put the darts, it's still gonna fall, but I think it falls even better when you have the little dart on both sides. So I'm gonna go ahead again and join the collar to the top, and then I'll be back. So after I've stitched down the neckline to the top, I'm going to work on the front piece. The front piece has the front pattern and the liner. So you're going to go ahead now and close this together. So how are you going to close this? You're going to go ahead and it's joined together, so I'm just going to show you what you're going to do. You're going to go ahead and take one side of the front, so you're going to go ahead and take one side of the front and one side of the back, lined it up together. So this is only the front section of the top, which has 2 pieces. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to flat stitch all the way down. So you're just going to flat stitch all the way down, and then you're going to turn it over because it will be joined together. So now that's the front. For the back section, for the bottom, I pinned it together so you'll be able to see. You're just going to go ahead and make whatever size hem you put. You're just going to go ahead, fold it 2 times and flat stitch down. So this is going to be your hem for the back. So you're going to go ahead, hem the 2 pieces together, and once you're done doing that, I'll be back to show you what we're going to do next. So here we have the front and the back facing right side to each other. The hem, both the front and the back, is hemmed, and now what I did was I just pinned alongside side of the top. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch, flat stitch all the way down. That's going to close the top, both front and back going to be together. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and line it up together and just flat stitch down the seam allowance. Also, I'm just going to join one side of the neckline. So I'm just going to place the two pieces together and just join the neckline together. So I'm going to go ahead, stitch the side and join the neckline, and I'll be back to show you what's next. I hem the top, both front and back, and I also close the shoulder strap on one side. On the other side, I pinned. You could either use a strap or I use the ribbon, and I'm pinned it down, so I'm just going to flat stitch it down to close it up. So this will be the other side of the shoulder. One is going to be closed, one is going to be used to tie. So once I've done adding the ribbon onto the sleeve, the top is finished. So here we have the finished top.